functioning TV.
Is this where we're going to be watching it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be what's on out there.
Okay. So we're paying attention to this instead of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially now with this format when there's a bunch of climbers at any given time.
So I think they do 5 in this case, but they do the first 4, then the 5th one goes out with the 8th place person again.
She's going alone.
And her alone.
Yeah, and then 4, and then 4, and then her alone, and then 4.
Right, but at the after like the 5th person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 2026 Canadian National Bouldering Championships. We are here at Boulder Climbing in Calgary, Alberta. I am Pete Woods. I'm joined by Madison Richardson. Madison, I'm so happy to have you with me again after the semifinal round. We're going to go straight into the athlete introductions, and then while they preview the boulders, Madison and I are going to take you through the introduction. But what are you looking forward to?
I am so excited to see how much progress all these athletes have made over the last year. You know, watching last year's to this year's, it's always so cool to see how the level has changed. And we've got a full house of the men's side of our championship team. I think we've got almost every World Cup men competing today. So this is going to be a showdown. I have no idea who's going to win. It's so exciting.
Me neither. No bets. No bets.
No.
Up first is Avery McDonald from BC.
Madison, these are our finalists. One extra woman because we have a foreign national, so the quota is 8+. one for a national, if that's the case. So we are a bit of an odd starting format. Is gonna, it'll play out. You'll figure it out as we figure it out. It's gonna be fine. But right now, they have 4 boulders to get through in preview. Madison, this is one of those things that's, I love that it remains in high-level competition, climbing all the way up to the World Cups, is this collaborative preview of the boulders in a final situation. Break it down for us. What are they talking about? What are they sharing? What are they not sharing?
Yeah, you definitely, you don't learn too much from this one. Your individual read, they're all reading very similar things. Some of them have slightly different interpretations. You hear everything, you kind of pay attention to what's being said, but for the most part, you need to trust your own beta primarily. You're never going to just steal someone else's beta in an event like this in the final round. So you hear it, you're kind of opening your mind to see if there's any other options you didn't think of. But most of all, we only have 4 minutes to climb these boulders, and they're very hard. So having this extra preview time, means you can step right up to these boulders and get going right away. You don't have to waste time in your 4 minutes. So you want to try to almost memorize it. You want to really take a mental photo so that as you're going through the round, you remember exactly what the boulder is going to be. You're kind of rehearsing it as you're waiting to do your next boulder. With the new format, having 2 climbers on at the same time per gender, there's a little bit less wait period between climbs now. So it's a little bit easier now to kind of remember what you're about to do, rehearse it, and be primed to do it. But for sure, you're going to want to withhold maybe something sneaky that you see. Maybe there's a screw hole you're planning on using. Maybe there's an alternative beta break potentially. So yeah, you definitely, if you're a hardcore competitor, maybe you keep tight-lipped. Maybe you don't say anything during this. If you're maybe antisocial, there's a lot of introverts, I think, in both sides. Maybe you don't have that buddy that immediately you're like, okay, yeah, guys, let's do this. Especially internationally, when people are speaking different languages, sometimes you don't get that buddy to sequence with. But for the most part, I'd say, especially on the men's side, I think a lot of these athletes climb out of Montreal, so they are definitely buddies, right? They're gonna. There's a couple brothers, in here.
Right.
So you're definitely getting a lot of collaboration. The women's side, I'm not sure. I think we've got a lot of introverts on the women's side. The francophones maybe kind of stick together, kind of things like that. But these are all very, very high-level athletes, so they all know what they're doing here. They can all sequence just fine.
They're all going to come to similar conclusions about the movement, and there may be some very subtle, I'm going to take the left side and match over, I'm going to take the left side and match under. There might be some really small differences.
Yeah.
But even that you're going to solve as soon as you grab the hold anyway. You're like, oh, that's not as good as I thought. It's better than I thought. The foot's too far away. One of the things, and I think people that climb a little bit or people that climb a lot that are watching, you'll know that when you look at a boulder from the mats the first time, you're pretty sure you know if your body fits in that space, and you get there and you're like, I do not fit in the space. So when you're previewing, are you getting down into the details of, if you think something's too far, are you kind of miming the span? Are you counting panels? Or are you just being like, I'll get that when I get that?
Yeah, so you're allowed to touch the start holds and the start holds alone. I think you can put 1 foot on the wall, but you can't take that second foot off because then you're cheating, basically. So when you are going up to preview, of course, the best sequencing you're going to do is going to be actually on the wall. But if you can get into a position, you can kind of look, from that position of about to start the boulder. That's when you get the most kind of mental connection to the boulder, and you're able to kind of feel it out, understand what the angles are going to be and the holds feel like. Of course, you can't feel them all, but if you've got the same hold sets at the bottom as you do kind of higher up, so you're grabbing and you're kind of getting a sense of what it's going to feel like. But yeah, it's tough. You're often wrong. Maybe everyone's wrong sometimes. Maybe in certain situations we see some people that sequence together both have it wrong, and then we see these 2 competitors come out and they both do it the same way, the same wrong way.
That's one of my favorite things is when you haven't been paying too much attention to the preview, or even especially in a lead round where there's more athletes doing it, and you see 2 climbers come out and do the same wrong thing, and they talked about that.
Exactly.
And they're both going to come back and be like, that was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I suggested it.
So yeah, we'll definitely pay attention to the Boulder brothers. We'll see if they have similar styles. I do think, just knowing them myself, I think they are very similar competitors for sure. They're both very high level. Somehow, that's not an accident to have 2 brothers. I think they have similar coach, if not the same coach, same gym. So definitely a lot of similarities we're going to see in their climbing. But of course, like they qualified in different spots, today. So there's definitely some stark differences. I'd say, Kinder McNamee and Guy McNamee are a great example of this. Very, very similar climbers. They almost go back and forth with their titles. I think they've had equal amounts of lead and boulder titles between the two of them. Unfortunately, Guy is injured for the boulder comp, but he's able to do lead starting on Sunday. So it is very strange to see only one McNamee.
I know, it's
in
the
a
first
final.
time I've only seen one McNamee, I think, in years and years and years.
Yeah, I'm sure Kinder is feeling a little bit lonely. They'll have each other in lead, but I'm wondering what Kinder is thinking. I know we got into it a little bit in semis, but Guy is his sequencing buddy, right? And
exactly.
I'm sure they can hold their own, right? They're both very seasoned competitors, so I'm not worried about Kinder at all. But that is a bit of a different dynamic. I wonder how he's going to deal with that.
And you gotta have, there must be for him a sense of when you come back to secondary ISO and you sort of catch eyes and you're like, you have that immediate confidence. They're like, I believe in you. Like whatever their non-verbal communication is in a final, a semi-final round, is going to be. He might sort of catch him looking and be like, he's not actually here. Like I'm kind of on an island by myself, as you say. They can both absolutely stand on their own, but you're missing your ISO buddy.
Exactly.
And I know that some climbers will go back in, headphones on, heads down. Some will chat, some like to be distracted overall. But as long as you're in a space where you're trying to remember the boulders, and when you come out, Madison, even if you've looked at the boulders for 2 minutes, which is not very long, and then you've climbed 3 boulders, you come out to the last boulder, as soon as you look at it, you're going to remember what you thought when you previewed it.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's very easy to forget the details. I like to rehearse it. It feels like you're thinking about so many things when you're in the middle of a finals round. You're hearing the crowd. It's loudest during finals because there's more people here.
Yep.
They're more excited. There's more on the line. So it's better to have something to occupy your mind a little bit and just think and rehearse those boulders. But yeah, when it's time to do boulder 4, it starts getting a bit fuzzy from your last read of it. So you definitely want to, you're distracted. There's so many things going on. Even when you're previewing, you're looking at the boulder, but all of a sudden you're finally seeing the audience for the first time.
Yeah.
You're in front of the lights. Some of these people.
The lights are down, and then there's spotlights. The colors are changing. You're like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, and some of the holds they've never seen, so they're taking so much in. It is sometimes hard to remember what is going on and focus on the task at hand, which is looking at this boulder and trying to sequence it.
Yeah, go out and do your job, for sure, for sure. The order of boulders in semifinals, for logistical purposes, we go left to right. And so naturally, they started on the slab. They could have started on the steep and gone to the slab. Now we get to bounce around a little bit. So now you don't, once you come out and realize that you're starting on the slab, you don't, in your mind, you're like, oh, I know we finished on the steep. And now we get to bounce around a little bit. So the route setters have a little bit more leeway to be like, oh, we're going to give you this, then that, then this, then that, with a little more control. And what the setters are trying to test, as they are in every round, they're trying to test different pieces of your climbing ability, and one of those is sort of adapting from angle change to angle change, from physically difficult boulders to boulders that are lower angle and higher risk, that kind of thing. So we're going to see a little bit different here, going back and forth, not just getting progressively steeper. That doesn't mean that just because it's not getting progressively steeper that they're not going to be more tired. These boulders are going to be incredibly hard.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a rhyme and reason to the order, for sure. And the setters have a little bit more creativity in this round, a little bit more freedom to do what they need to do to get to test what they want to test.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's definitely all intentional, even if I don't know what the intention is. I've never climbed around and be like, oh yeah, I understand why that boulder was second. But it's whatever they're trying to do, it's definitely on purpose, because these are the best setters in Canada here today.
Yeah, and every now and then you'll catch one at the bar and you're like, well, we were trying to mimic water flowing in between, and we're like, no, you weren't!
Exactly.
I know you're lying to me right now. I know you're lying to me right now. We were trying to give you the emotive feeling of going from one mountaintop to another. Like, no. Yeah, you wanted to climb the purple boulder last.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you
I like
wanted.
the color at the end. Yeah.
So, as we look across these boulders, Madison, I immediately see twice as many holds on the wall for the same number of boulders. So the boulders, and it doesn't necessarily mean more complex, but it's definitely more to look at and more to think about and more things to grab. Are you getting the order wrong? Are you getting the sequence wrong?
Yeah.
We saw a little bit of boulder 4 for the men and women where some of the climbers did 2 and 3 different things in 3 and 4 tries. So they're like, oh, go out, come under, go up, go down. Here I see lots of variability and movement possibilities.
There's so many ways to make boulders harder. You know, sometimes make the holds worse, make the holds smaller, make the holds further. But another thing is to make more holds.
Just put more of them on the walls.
Yeah, the sequencing is absolutely something we're testing here. Even though they do get to sequence with each other, there's still a lot of on-the-fly changing of your beta, which honestly probably happens more than, you know, you just read it perfectly and you send it exactly as it was.
Right.
Especially with boulders this comp style, so many moves, they're 100%. Like, I don't think any of them are going to get all of their sequences correct today.
No. And even when we get down to the details that you and I are looking for and that the athletes are looking for, sequence comes down to did you angle your toe in the right direction?
Yeah.
Not did you grab the holds in the right order.
Yes.
That's like the high, they should be getting that right. It gets down to, oh, did you bump, did you shift, did you hog it before you matched? Those are the sequencing things that we're generally talking about, is the real subtle things. And if you're a little bit newer to climbing, or definitely new to competition climbing, that's a lot of the things that you want to look for. Don't just sort of watch this comp and marvel at how hard the boulders are and how strong the climbers are. Look at what they do well. When they go to match a hold they know they're going to match, they leave room. When they go to match their feet and you know they're going to match their feet, watch what their hips are doing. So I encourage you to look at some of the subtleties of the movement that are the route setters are testing our best athletes with, because when you go to climb at any level, V1, V2, V3, it doesn't matter, the route setting is testing you as well. So there's always something to be learned from every level of climbing, and that should be the joy of watching competition, is the best doing their best, which is at its core no different from someone in their third time in the gym trying the hardest thing they've ever done. It just televises better when the grade is harder.
Absolutely, yeah. And obviously, you know, some of the moves, they're not, obviously they're harder, but they're also just like the same ones that you've done yourself, just, you know, with different holds. It is a little bit harder, and you know, it has to be that way. Otherwise, they don't know what they're doing. Like, this has to resemble something they've tried before, you know, grown up with in some cases. You know, the sport's evolved quite a bit lately. I think every year it gets different, new holds, new moves. So athletes are very, very good at adapting on the fly, but it all does come back to the fundamental, like left, right, left, up the wall kind of stuff that you've grown up doing.
I like to think of it sort of in comparison to music. So we haven't discovered any new notes, but we're constantly finding new ways to arrange those notes together.
That's true.
And every now and then you recognize a pattern and go, oh wait, I've seen a piece of this puzzle before. And you look at a boulder, you're like, oh, I've sort of hop right hand, left hand pinch. I've done that before. Not exactly this far apart, not on this angle, not with these holds, but my brain has kind of put that muscle memory locked in. And when I get there, I don't have to solve the move for the first time from zero.
Absolutely,
and that's something that comes with tons and tons of experience. And we have some young climbers with youth experience, but who are venturing into their first national bouldering final. Do you think that nerves play a factor? I think I saw some pretty nervous smiles. I think there's more rookies on the women's side than the men's side.
Yeah, honestly, the nerves never go away. For sure, if it's your first year in open, it's going to be a little more nerve-wracking to finally like meet these people you've been, you know, Babette, for example.
Looking up to,
yeah. Like, these people are fixtures, and you know, you see them on TV, you see them all over the place, and it's kind of out-of-body experience to see them in person for the first time, and let alone compete against them. But you know, even at the highest level, the nerves never go away. I'm sure every single athlete is just shaking. I know I would be.
Yeah.
It's just like that anticipation of what's the first boulder going to feel like. You know, what's the audience going to feel like. You know, and of course, some of them are now starting to think about the podium. And I know probably a lot of those men are. Because a lot of them have either been on the podium before or have been, you know, adjacent, maybe at North American Cups. So they've all got what it takes, and I'm sure there's some that are silently more competitive than we think.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe they're not being buddy right now in ISO.
Yeah, I hear that. And you get people who, there's a lot of climbers that even when they're training, they kind of look like they're having a good time. They kind of shrug off the falls and stuff. And then I think, like, I'm thinking TJ Foley. So TJ is a big, fun personality. Always looks like he's having a good time. I'm expecting to see a little bit of like internal fire because he's been dancing around podiums for a while, and I think he showed that he belongs in this field.
Well,
and maybe
not
if
to
he
mention
just
the home crowd
behind him,
right?
He's going to hear. I mean, there's there's probably, my God, it's getting full in here. There might be 400 or 500 people in here right now.
Yeah, some people up on the squat racks, getting a higher
people
view.
hanging in. So it's going to get loud, and that can be a motivating difference. You know, if you've climbed enough, and I'm sure you know this too, at every level, Madison, there's times where you think you've tried your hardest, and then you realize that you have 5% more, or 2% more, or 1% more, and that's the difference. And sometimes the motivation, like the way a crowd cheering in the room makes you feel like, oh, it's me. Okay, maybe I should give them something to cheer about. I think I can stick that last hold.
Yeah, for sure. And at the same time, though, it is also nice that this new format has so many other climbers on the wall with you. Takes away, like for me at least, it takes away a little bit of the nerves to know it's not all on you. But of course, there's moments where you're the only one at the top of the boulder, and of course, everyone knows that they're cheering for you right now.
I'm just seeing just a quick note here. We're trying to catch up with what's going on. Hold friction. The chat is asking about hold friction for educational purposes. Well, hold friction goes from 0 on the no-tech side of dual techs, and then there is quite a lot of difference, actually, all joking aside. Lots of different hold pours will use different amounts of friction. So some holds are going to be they're going to bite back a lot. Some of the volumes are going to bite back more than others, but hold friction is important. Maybe the heat in the room will change a little bit over time. A little bit of humidity will try, different. But overall, it's more important on the big open slopey holds, and even that comes down to body position as much as it does friction.
Yeah. It also has to do with, what order you've been climbing the boulders in. Whoever's going to be going on last is going to have a lot more chalk on these holds. They're going to be a little bit worse, especially when athletes are chalking up quite a bit. They can get a little grimy. You're going to have to pick up the brush.
And just as we were talking about the fact that you get to climb with a bunch of people around you in this format, we have Avery McDonald, because there's one extra woman climbing all by herself. On her first try on boulder number 1. But we're going to kick off 2026 Canadian National Bouldering Championships. If you're just joining us, we're at Boulder Climbing in Calgary, Alberta. I'm Pete Woods, joined by Madison Richardson, a fixture on the Canadian climbing team for many, many years now, who is with us, unfortunately, due to an injury that she's nursing, but we are happy to have your insight and your experience in the booth tonight. Avery McDonald getting right to it.
Right into it, and zone already. I'm very impressed.
So maybe a climbable boulder right off the bat. This does not look like she's having a lot of difficulty.
I'll say, though, this does not look easy, though.
No.
She's smearing on nothing. She's stepping on dual techs, and this finish move looks like maybe the crux.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to lead with the foot there, for sure. Or maybe she can hold it. I don't know how good that hold is. But
it's hard to tell. I was standing under it, and I looked up and went, I don't know that I'd want to do that, which is really, that's my bar.
Yeah, and the issue with these comps is you don't get that, like in climbing gyms, you often get to follow the chalk.
Yes.
And you follow the foot scums, right? If this were a gym boulder, we might see a lot of like foot slips on the volume, for example, or on the wall, demonstrating that people have been doing a certain type of beta.
Yeah, just little clues, right?
Yeah.
Little clues that you're hungry. Or do you see a thumb wrap over the side of something?
Yeah, or at least,
bits.
sometimes it can lead you astray, of course. Someone's doing something wrong.
And then someone else grabs it, and then someone else grabs it. And that's my favorite.
So yeah, none of that, especially going out first, like Avery is today. You get nothing. I don't see much chalk at all. The root setters will fall
even root
a couple
setters
times.
chalk,
Yeah, but not very much.
So I'm also curious if the opening will get harder as you get a little bit fatigued. So maybe that opening adrenaline really kicked in, but she is back up into the business, re-reaching the zone. This is all smears. There's nothing on the wall that you can't see on TV. No jibs in that gray area. Full smear press.
Yeah, big bicep move here for the women just to start off. Yeah, a little more desperate.
Yeah, a little bit more.
But I think she's learned what not to do, at least for this finish move.
Keep an eye on that left foot.
Oh, yeah. So she's trying a similar beta again. I like to think like these athletes know better than we do. Sitting here in the commentary box.
What? Not possible.
I have some of these holds I've never held before.
True. It's very true.
Like especially we're gonna see on men's too. I don't know what those holds are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how good that right hand is. I don't know how good the left hand is. I wouldn't choose this beta, right? But I'm looking at it from this distance.
Right.
And she's looking at it from right underneath it. And so she's seeing something I'm not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we're being a little bit more objective. It's like, I wouldn't choose to put my left foot on a no-tex to make a dead point.
For sure.
But if that's the only option, because in your mind she's already run through, well, if I try and get a smear on the volume, it's too tight, too small of a box, it's going to eject the wrong direction. So you're right, she is making all those micro adjustments on the fly. And time ticks down. 4 minutes for these boulders, which goes really fast.
Really,
1
really
minute
fast.
now is, I mean, it's 1.5 tries. Avery looking to get.
Yeah, she's looking great on this first move.
Yep.
Very, very casual into that. As a whole, like, you know, she doesn't climb nervously. I don't see any of that with her. And this is her first time in finals.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's the smears, Madison. The smears
Yeah,
give you
it's
like
putting
no room for
everything
error.
on your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know how good that zone is either.
No. I mean, they're underclings, right? Smearing and underclings is a recipe for why am I doing this.
Yeah.
But really good climbing out of the gate. That's a good way to start off a finals round.
Yeah, falling on the finish hole, that's
Yep.
not, it's never something to be too upset about, I
Yeah.
find.
I'm with you. I am so excited to see the men's first boulder. I just think it's going to be a bit of a journey, and I'm excited. TJ Foley coming out. Crowd's going to rock up for that, and Rena Gao. TJ with a little bit of a smile. He's going to get, I don't know what he's, I don't know what he thinks he's brushing. He doesn't trust the root setters.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's also habit for a lot of these
Yep.
athletes, you know? Like the coaching here I know in Alberta is very good, so they probably drilled that into their
Yeah.
athletes.
Brush everything at least once.
So this is Rena's first time in finals at Open Nationals.
Which is crazy, because
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, I've been watching Rena climb forever, but a lot of that is youth competitions, for
Youth
sure.
and even Pan American, North American. She's won on podiums before in finals, but never our national final.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting how she deals with the like kind of hometown pressure
Yeah.
a little bit.
Little
Home nation.
Little sneaky toe hook.
Yeah, I like that bait. A lot more cautious, I'd say.
Speaking of sneaky toe hooks,
Yeah, TJ is into
TJ.
it.
Oh, I love that. Rena
Oh.
finding the smears. TJ, that subtle little foot drop was really nicely executed for first time. Getting into this,
Oh,
maybe.
He is very
maybe
tall.
He is very tall. I think what they want you to do is stand on the no-tex on the left foot.
that does seem like something they would do. I think even a really high foot could also work here.
TJ is going to try and
he's-
get, I don't know that I love that.
But he's holding on to this flash attempt, though. You
Yeah.
know, attempts matter more than ever.
Yep. Just got a little outside the box creative.
Yeah.
But that little drop catch, subtle coordination move, that was really, even if it's not difficult, I love things like that, just so smoothly put together. Clever root setting.
Yeah, our boulders are definitely stepping up this year. Absolutely. I'm seeing a huge difference today.
Yeah. Yeah, our setting team has World Cup experience under their belts, so.
Yes, new World Cup experience since our last event.
All right, Rena back up into the business. No, it didn't need the toe hook.
Yeah, she's getting more efficient as she
Yeah.
goes, for sure. And we're eyeing up the finish hold. Oh,
Yeah, that's the business. That's the business.
and TJ sticking that toe hook, no problem. Yeah, that's a very learned movement there.
Yeah.
He's definitely got that down.
And the height for him is going to help him. I think that move is going to feel a bit easier for him than some of the other climbers. There's not really short dudes
There
except for
we go.
Ian. Double toe
he's
finger
excited.
match.
Yeah,
He finds an extra half an inch from the previous try.
Yeah.
TJ Foley putting Boulder 1 in the books. Just hunting. The clock is going to come and go. Earlier.
looks like we got a minute and 20.
yeah.
Yep. So yeah, this is the point where you want, like, she's been falling at the finish hold, right? So do we wait down the clock? Are we going to wait until there's maybe 30 seconds left for a good attempt, or do you wait a little longer and give yourself a chance to maybe slip and still recover from that?
Man, that's why I feel that coaching at this level would just give you an aneurysm, because
Yeah.
you're like, jump on with time to make one mistake, not that you have to jump on and make no mistakes. So like, jump on with a slip so that you can get back on and try the boulder 2 times.
Yeah.
That would be my always my advice.
So it looks like she's got about 40 seconds left,
Yep.
which is more than enough time. So this is,
Boulder
she
climb's
could
quick.
do another
Yeah.
one, yeah. Come on, Rena.
Really trying to get that left.
Oh,
Yes, really good stuff. Look at that.
Oh,
Rena
looks like she
go.
surprised herself
She looks
there.
surprised.
Yeah.
She really looks surprised. He was like, I'm going to try this again, and
So
we're
these
just
are
going to
the-
see what happens.
These are the moments in sport that you live for, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing.
Love that. But she scooched her left foot over about maybe 10 inches from the first try.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the difference. Like for her, that was all that was missing
Yeah.
to get a little more upward push. Really good stuff. Love that.
And right into, this is the great thing about finals. We don't
Yep.
have to keep ticking down the clock. We can
Yep.
just go straight into the next ones.
Yeah. So Adriana Jokelsen and Ugo Dorval. Oh, Ian Tan.
Ian Tan,
Sorry,
yeah.
we're out by one. I'm looking at my list as though they're 1-1, but because of the extra, I'm going to do that probably 3 or 4 more times tonight. So just bear with me. All right.
Ian Tan taking a quick look and then right into what he needs to do there.
Yeah.
Very tricky first move. Very coordination is tough to start with. You know, coordination sometimes take a little bit of warming up into it to really get primed and ready
Even
to
for
do
your
it.
brain, right? Get your brain ready to do 4 things at once.
Yeah, and you can't really warm up coordination in isolation. When you're given a little spray wall, maybe a couple gym sets,
Yeah.
it's not really intuitive to be able to warm up. But once these athletes have previewed, they know what they're about to do. Sometimes they try to mimic it back in ISO.
Whoa.
Yeah, Adrian have a little trouble with the start here.
Yeah.
Not quite as intuitive maybe as everyone was finding it.
And then Ian sort of looking a bit unsure just there what he, oh my goodness.
Interesting.
I guess that's going to give her the distance she's looking for
Yeah.
to get over here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I like this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do what you need to. Do what you need to.
And then is she going to do, yeah.
Yeah. Little
Yeah,
toe.
in finals, you do want to be a little careful. You know, you don't want to be reckless with your attempts.
But doesn't love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard to see the angle, but the angle does change between the gray and white there. So the feet are dropping, getting further and further away from you as you're trying to smear on that.
Yeah, it's definitely foot slip territory, right? And that's the worst in these finals rounds. Like foot slipping is something we're desperately trying to avoid, you know, on those flash attempts. And to give a boulder that's just like you're gonna slip,
You are definitely going to
Yeah.
slip.
and you have to be okay with that a little
Yeah.
bit.
And your heart kind of jumps, right? When you're focused so much on trying to pull hard and go up, and all of a sudden you're in the area. What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what happened.
Yeah,
My foot slipped.
yeah, foot slips are your attempt is just over randomly, and you weren't anticipating this. At least when you're going for a hold, you know if it's gonna happen or not. Yeah, Ian Tan.
Getting closer. Last try was good.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's definitely. It's getting very, very clear. He's a shorter climber. He's definitely on the shorter side of the men's field, especially compared to who we just saw.
Yeah.
Probably the tallest one in the men's
Yeah.
field.
Striking comparison with how much easier it was for TJ to reach into the toe hook, for
Yeah.
sure.
And
But-
that's just climbing.
but-
I love that.
Little heel toe, that's so clever. He caught the heel hook.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're a shorter climber. You're used to finding these workarounds, so it does make sense. He saw that and was able to work it. Adriana into the second last.
Yep. Oh my God. Is maybe going to go smear Pixie?
Oh.
My goodness.
He put it all together in the next 40 seconds, 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, she's taking a break.
She's gonna walk.
She's done with it.
Okay.
That was good for
Okay,
her. She
yeah.
got the zone.
Yeah, and that's sort of, it's important to not just burn skin for no reason. You're like, wow, I've touched this hold. I'm not sure I can do it. Meanwhile, Ian is going to run the clock down for a zone.
Yes.
100% worth the extra time.
Yeah, he's getting so fast with his feet. It's just the height is a little, I mean, it definitely works for sure. Like
Yeah.
the root setters make sure there isn't a move that's impossible
Exactly.
for someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, slightly harder for sure.
Because
And-
I know that Victor Flirte, who's setting this round, is on the shorter side,
Yeah.
and he's thinking about that all the time.
Yes.
They're always thinking about it. I really liked Ian's little heel hook, the stall. I'm curious why he didn't go back to that. It looked like it was going to work for him.
Yeah, it looked like he got stuck when he did
Maybe,
it.
yeah.
And then the other one was also closed still, so it's really, really hard to figure out
Yeah.
what to do.
Evangelina Briggs and Hugo Dorval out now. And Hugo has some favorites, some fans in the crowd giving him a little extra cheer.
Yeah, Hugo is very, very popular
Yeah.
in Quebec City for sure.
Yeah. And he's a big personality. I mean, I've loved watching him climb for a long time. I do think he has a big, kind of fun way of climbing. And Evangelina is just the assassin.
Yeah, Evangelina is no stranger to finals rounds, North American Cups, Nationals, and Hugo, of course, as well. Like, I think the last 2 seasons have been incredible for him. He's really exploded onto the scene. He almost made a semifinal in Brazil this past season.
Yep.
And I'm sure he is as motivated as ever.
So we did that little sort of hand-foot swap very cleanly as well, while Evangelina moves through into the zone. So zones on both sides of your screen.
They're both looking really, really close here. Is Evangelina
Evangelina.
gonna go?
Ooh.
Oh, and he's all the way up on
All
it.
the way up.
Does he have the mobility?
Oh my goodness, that right hand is starting to look like it's shaking just a little bit.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, does he have it? Ooh, he's not going to want to drop this flash attempt. Maddie, does he have it? He does!
That's amazing.
That was unconventional at best. A little inside-out heel hook? Come on now.
Yeah, it's all about playing to your strengths, right? You
Yeah.
don't have the mobility, find something else. You know, there's not enough time to, go back to the gym and train something you wish you'd
Exactly.
trained. So, there's always a way to do it, for sure.
Like, what can you figure out in 4 minutes? And I would encourage you, if you've never competed, set a 4-minute clock on a boulder you've never tried and just see how hard it is to work out through the mistakes. Pick a boulder that you think you can do in 4 minutes, but just see what that pressure adds. You're like, oh, I can't come back in 20 minutes. I can't watch someone else do it. I can't go to my partner that always has good beta and be like, what would you do here?
Exactly.
You're all on your own, and it ends up being an inside-out heel hook. Why
Evangelina
not?
trying the crossed hands as well.
Doesn't need to.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some athletes, even though they do flash a move, they'll go and try alternative beta because they think they can make it even better, more efficient.
Higher percentage maybe.
Yeah, but when you're fundamentally changing the beta that you just tried, maybe tweaking it a little is like a good idea, but to fully change something that worked on the first try is sometimes a suspect decision.
Yeah.
But obviously she switched right back.
Immediately back.
She's definitely powerful enough. She's probably trying to save a little bit of energy too, trying to make it just that little bit easier.
That just tried to adjust the smear, and you see that right foot wasn't flat. It was the shoe edge, not the shoe, like the flat of the toe, and it just dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really tricky boulder. When we see early success, like early in the round, we're like, oh, maybe this is going to be an easy one.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that this is what this is turning out into. She's going with the cross again. Interesting.
I guess she doesn't love the double.
No, she is a very static climber. She
Yeah.
does enjoy the static betas. So I don't blame her for this, for sure. And I think it obviously works. So I'm A-okay with this, Evangelina.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that right foot now. Just got to get a little bit more.
Yeah, we're really fatiguing out here. Like that bicep, like your biceps are smaller muscles than your back or your legs. So having them work that hard is very tiring.
So she's going to walk away with a well-deserved zone. That's absolutely fine at this point. Really good stuff. And it's going to sound like it's not important, but when she walked into semifinals today and she didn't have the braid, I was like, Briggs, are you climbing without the braid? And she's like, I sort of hate it. She's like, immediately, she's like, I kind of hate it.
Yeah.
And then she climbed the semifinals with just the ponytail and has brought it back for the finals. So if you've been Acme Brothers wore the same pants for like 7 years in a row.
Yeah, very, very difficult for us to distinguish the two of them when they do these things, but yeah.
Yeah, the habit is important. So now we have Elise Villeneuve, and we have Leo, and then we have Avery back for Boulder, number 2. Elise flashing up to the last move, as we have seen.
Yeah, I think like when everything is going crazy, you do leave the leg behind. Everyone seems to be forgetting about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Avery having a little bit of trouble on this first move. It's not a gimme for sure. I think you got the dual text left hand that you're pressing onto.
Yeah, and those crimps are bad and blocked, like in a confusing manner. You see Leo just trying to get that toe hook to stick. So a bit low percentage, and this is something that roots headers have in their toolbox is let's give the climbers a learned movement. So something that there is going to take time to dial in the minutia of, and this is one of those moves. It's a 4-point coordination. It's not super powerful, but once they get the toe hook, they've sort of given like, okay, you should top the boulder now. But they're going to create separation, and they're going to create, like, it erodes your trust a little bit. It erodes your confidence. You're like, wow, I had to try boulder 1 9 times.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, and sometimes that's okay. A top is a top sometimes.
Yep.
If it's a hard top, especially in the final, like it's good enough. Like you just got to get that thing done.
Yeah.
But when we are talking about the podium, sometimes it is the difference between first and second.
Yeah, and there's Leo learning that movement in 5 tries, and now I love this move so much.
Oh man!
And that's showing you that it's not a giveaway.
Yeah, and
so
that
TJ made it look easy.
Yes.
Hugo made it look easy. We know how strong Leo is. Fell off.
Yeah. And I'm sure he's a little more disappointed about that one because he did not secure zone there. He did the hard move, but he didn't get the zone for it.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's probably stressing a little bit. We got 2 minutes, so he shouldn't be stressing too much.
But they do.
Yes,
They
of course.
all do. And now Elise, who flashed up to the last move and then maybe jumped back on too quick, is giving herself a bit more of a forced rest. And Avery is, as you say, fighting a little bit on the start move
Yeah,
here.
and it looks like she's not, I don't know if the routers really want you to get all the way on top with like straight arms on top of it. She doesn't seem to want to do that with her right arm at least. Yeah, she's got like kind of a bent arm there, which it looks difficult because you're kind of putting a bit more pressure on the dual techs, on the feet.
Yeah. And is that blue to green transition is a bit open book. So that right hand yellow hold is sort of flaring away from you a little bit.
Yeah.
And Leo now can't get the toe to stick. So that he's got to control a little bit of frustration, a move you've already done. And now I think 30 seconds on the clock.
And this is where a little bit of experience sometimes kicks in. This is only his second final, and he's definitely climbing very strong. He's definitely deserving to be here, absolutely, without a doubt. But yeah, a little bit of the inexperience showing with, he's kind of rushing it now. If he took a little bit of time to rest, I think he might have a better chance of like kind of having a cool, calm, collected attempt.
At least back up into the business. Also doesn't need to rush it.
A bit slow with the leg.
Oh, but that had the timing right.
So close, yeah.
Really
she definitely,
close.
She'll probably be kicking herself a little bit for that one.
And I can imagine, knowing Simon, I can imagine just the stress watching her get close to the top of that boulder. And then Leo, I think he's tried it 15 times since we mentioned he tried it a lot of times.
Yeah.
And
it's just fatiguing your shin there when you're doing it so often.
So hopefully, and that's one of those things now that might sit with you. So I know that you have obviously a lot of experience with it. The mental side of a final as well as a semifinal is you have to shed failure very quickly. So you can, how long do you mourn a boulder for that you didn't top? Like a minute?
Yeah, it should be like 10 seconds. Like that's what it should be, right? But you do have, up to 20 minutes to sit with that.
Yeah.
So it's about how quickly you're able to get rid of it. Ideally, instantly. But it's not how humans work.
No. So you got to think that Leo's going to be back there being like, I had it.
Yeah.
I had it. I had the zone ready to go, and now, boom. So he'll be kicking himself. Hopefully he can shake it off as we move into, this is the first time I've called the new format in Madison. So I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, Elnaz is on 1. And then, okay, that means Rena's on 2. We're spreading it out. The
it
field
is a little bit complicated.
Yeah, they basically go to Boulder 2 in the middle of the field instead of at the end of the field.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they take half the rest that they would normally have had. It allows us to move through the finals quicker with more athletes.
And more action
overall.
at the time. Yeah.
But
typically at the world level, we're having just one gender going at one time, so it's only 2 in the wall, but we're getting even more action. And TJ is wasting no time.
No.
I think he's having a great round so far today.
He's just, my goodness.
That Alberta raw strength, outdoor climbing strength.
Grabbing limestone crimps.
Oh, he's crushing this.
Oh my goodness, I'm loving this.
Left hand. I don't know that they want you to go left hand to that.
Yeah, I feel
a little bit stuck unless you can lock it off.
Or maybe a little gnarly match.
Yep.
Yeah. But with the feet as they are, those holds are dual techs on top, like limited angle space.
Yeah.
That's going to be a technical boulder.
So Victor Baudron on his first boulder is Yeah, he's having a little bit of
Also
trouble.
fighting, yep.
Yeah, sometimes even when you're taller, you're at a bit of a disadvantage with these toe hooks because it's a little too far and you're not getting enough tension on that toe hook.
And then Rena looks so carefully on that left foot. Bit
So
of a nightmare boulder.
Yeah, I was going to say, that looks really hard to hold on to. It looks very small. It's blocked, of course, because we know women are very, very good at crimping. So we need to make it the hardest crimps they've ever seen.
They've ever seen.
Yeah.
So Amelia, a little bit of frustration with the opening sequence here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a 50-50 with this first move, which is very interesting. It's a good set, I'd say.
TJ hanging on to the crimps. Didn't rest for very long.
No.
But maybe he just didn't like his sequence rather than powering out on the move.
Yeah.
Everybody moving well now. Progress on all 4 boulders. TJ does make it work. TJ dropping a top and Victor moving through the zone. Overall, crossing through.
About a minute and a half left on the clock. TJ's got more than enough time.
Yep.
Victor's got time to chill, find the position.
Once you're
Amelia's
here,
got time to rest. Yep, we got time.
Everybody's got time. Oh, getting that high foot in there. Is he going to find the position? Look
He's
at
doing
this.
the heel as well.
I love it.
Go.
It's a little bit of love for the crowd. I love that if that's the design finish position, then I tip my hat a little bit.
That's very interesting. I wonder if they're like, oh, these guys weren't as mobile as we expected them to be, but good thing that little
heel scum
is there for them. I don't know what they would do without it, to be honest.
Caleb, what did you give them? What did you give them?
So Rena fighting immediately. Yeah, I don't know if she's done the legal start yet.
Right, yeah.
Amelia into the first move. And we've got just about 30 seconds left. So these are last attempts for most of these athletes.
Yep.
Amelia desperate into the last, but can she pull it off?
Winding it up with the smear. No, TJ now really pushing.
Oh, TJ's looking confident.
Really looking good here.
Oh!
1.5 fingers. Couldn't break the wrist over.
Couldn't be any closer.
My goodness.
Amazing show from TJ.
My goodness. Wow, I love that. And you get a minute to catch your breath while we transition between the boulders. The Russian team comes rushing out. We're just praying. We're praying for our internet. Every now and then it looks like it might drop. And that is going to bring out Sophie King, one of our BC athletes. Ian Tan is back. And now we have Kinder out on boulder number 1, which puts, oh my God, I'm testing myself here. Adriana, who is she's our foreign national.
Yep.
So she is living in Canada, but is a U.S. citizen. So she is the reason we have one extra climber.
Yeah, and it's always nice, you know, to have that rule of there will be 8 Canadians in this final.
We see
Ian Tan, a little bit of that Ontario strength. I think we see a little bit of a trend in our provinces, you know, because we're so different as provinces. I think Alberta, Ontario definitely have those crimps under control.
Ian looking good. And Sophie.
Ian Tan looking like he's struggling, but he's hanging on there.
Oh my goodness, that is a fight right now.
Okay, he's into the last move here.
Can he get through this guest zone? No. Oh my goodness, see his face?
Yeah.
Absolutely flabbergasted at that crimp and how good / bad it is.
Kinder, I'm not sure how many attempts that was.
This is 1.
Is this the first
I
one
believe
still?
this is 1.
Well, that would be very good if we get a top all the way here. I think they're quite flexible. They do a lot of stretching. I know the McNamee twins. I wouldn't be surprised if it's no problem for him to get his foot all the way up.
Watching how Hugo struggled to get his foot up. And just yoinked it up. I love when you see that. Usually it's almost always the men grab their pants
Yes.
to pull their knee
Or
up a little bit.
even the foot, you can go down and grab it.
Yeah. Just
But-
exposing their own lack of
Yes.
mobility.
But at the same time, Hugo still did the boulder in the same
true.
attempt, so it helped us make it easier for sure.
As they say, Madison, there are no pictures on the scorecard.
Yes.
Top is a top.
Yes.
Not matter how you get there.
Yeah.
Sophie looking like a little bit desperate unnecessarily. Like that sort of the body language tells me that she's like coming off with that energy to jump right back on again. You need to take a breath. You see Ian literally sitting down. This is an old Sean McCallism. He would sit down to force himself to just not even pace around, and just that makes you calm down. It can be unnerving, right, to sit down in front of a boulder in a final.
Yeah, well, it's much easier when there's so many other athletes that we can look at, right? So you're not feeling like you're letting everyone down by it being
by
boring.
not giving them a show.
Yes.
Yeah, that, which is a thing. Absolutely. It gets in your mind. It gets in your mind. Sophie King.
It's like she's bejeweled her shoes a little bit there. I'm seeing a shine
I
on
was
the side.
seeing the shine and thought maybe I was having a stroke.
No,
but you think there's a little bit dazzling
I
happening.
think so. I like that. Oh.
Swung through this frustration there. You
Yeah.
see that hands on hips, hand to head. How do you, everyone has a process. You're allowed to be mad, but that negative self-talk, you have to be, right? That's a dangerous line to tip along.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing out here? It can be dangerous.
Yeah, especially on Boulder 1. You gotta be even keel the whole time, or at least be able to shake off emotion very quickly.
Very quickly. I loved Ian's just like absolute shock of like, what on earth was that?
Yeah, I don't know if he was shocked that it was so bad, or if he should have stuck that.
Or that he was surprised he got that far on his splash attack. It could be all of those things.
It could be everything. He's looking great now.
He's looking super powerful, like very springy, explosive.
And I thought he was about to skip that hold. He's looking so solid. He's got a great sequence going on here. This move a little bit desperate, but he's making it look better.
Yeah, better than the first try where he was figuring it out. Can he get further right?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, that was it didn't go quite as far that time.
Yeah.
I think he kind of undershot it a little bit.
Oh, Sophie,
Interesting.
what is happening?
She's like, enough of this. I'm going to do it my way.
Wow.
Oh.
Almost. What seemed like a lot of extra movement, but got through the zone. If you get a hand on the finish hold, you did well on the boulder. Ian Tan absolutely smashed that thing. Kinder as well, and a little bit of trouble from Adriana not really exiting the start. I'm really curious about this second boulder, Madison. I think there's a lot more left to right that has to happen. They have enough up, but they're reaching. And they're sliding back. There's no pull back.
Yeah.
So I think a lot more left to right is going to have to happen. But we have big, strong climbers coming who are definitely capable of doing it.
And can I also say how old school style it is, right? We're testing those older styles of climbing again, which I think is becoming more and more popular. And I think you're actually going to be seeing this on the World Cup scene. So I think, for the first time in a while, we're preparing our athletes extremely well at these nationals. No longer can we say, oh, it's not quite the style, it's not quite as
the
hard.
level, yeah. I hear
I think we're inching very, very close to it. And I think the setters are starting to catch up and try to exceed even what we're about to see on the circuit.
And I tell you, Madison, my toxic trait is I could do that crimp boulder.
Yeah.
You give me crimps, I can do it. I don't care how hard it's supposed to be.
Yes.
In my mind, I'm going to go try that boulder first.
Yeah, and some athletes are losing that skill, so it's cool to definitely see them having to pull on these crimps now.
Elnaz working well through the start of this boulder on her first attempt, and Evangelina showing her mobility. Meanwhile, Oscar can't get the toe. Can Elnaz pull a flash out? What are we going to see? Look at this
She's
toe.
getting pretty high on this. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, see, when you're smearing, it's just never a sure thing.
Yeah, looked really good through there. And Hugo back into the business here.
Yeah, interesting. Hugo is a very comp style oriented climber. His big thing is the paddling, right? So I guess I'm not surprised, to see a little bit of struggle in this style, because again, he's just been training the other stuff.
Oh my goodness, Evangelina!
Oh, she's making it work.
I kind of can't believe that cross worked, the step through, but she is absolutely just taking a breath.
There's not a single round where we don't see an Evangelina beta, you know, something that's just uniquely hers, and no one else would dare.
That was fantastic. Yeah, Hugo is maybe trying to overcomplicate it.
Yeah, he's paddling it. He's paddling on crimps.
To tiny crimps.
Yeah.
Just bear down, son. Just bear down.
So eventually, I don't believe there's a foot chip on this last volume.
I don't believe there is either. I looked, I did not see one. And this is, I think there's going to be hands-free as she traverses across here.
She's going to have to trust that foot with her life.
Yeah.
And that's a mental game in and of itself.
And, oh, there we go. Oscar gets the toe to stick on maybe attempt 10.
Yep.
Evangelina 1, 2. Madison, look at that. All class from Evangelina Briggs.
I'm sure she's feeling good about that one.
Heck yeah. Almaz with the jump. And Oscar into the finish press.
Got about a minute 44 on the clock here.
Oscar getting turned around a little bit.
Elnaz, is she going to try the static beta again?
It looks like it. The toe is back in there. She's been climbing with the BC athletes for about a year and a half now, so maybe they're getting into her head about, hey, this is what we do out here.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
That's kind of a scary fall there a little bit. He was kind of backwards. He was kind of tangled up.
And meanwhile, Ugo changed his beta.
So the whole volume there is
static.
the slab, or is the zone, so it doesn't really matter which crimp you use.
Okay, so a minute to go. Has established his, a lot is happening.
Yes.
This format, you're right, a lot is happening. We saw Oscar take a funny fall. I thought we were oohing at Hugo doing the boulder, only to realize that it was Oscar falling off a boulder.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Elnaz is falling off the top. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us.
So can Oscar execute this toe hook? Oh.
So
he didn't do this last time,
no,
did he?
he did not.
Oh, he's doing. Oh, okay, he's in desperation mode now.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta just do this as statically as possible.
Yeah, I don't mind that though. We got the hop where Ian could not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Elnaz, static
Here
or
it is.
dynamic? Oh,
Running out of gas for the smears. Once your biceps get tired, the smears feel worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
But is Oscar going to have enough time? I think he will. Yes, he will. Wow. Look at that. A little frustration to success.
Yeah.
That was a roller coaster.
And it's funny when you top at the end of the time like this, he doesn't look very happy that happened. You know, it's more just like, oh, that was a close one, and it's you're more in shock. You're not really taking a second to appreciate that you did it.
Top's a top.
Take a breath. Yeah.
Something that we talked. Here we get another look at this top from Evangelina. This is great. Like just that, the feet. It's no text. She doesn't even go to the inside. Nice casual lean.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that everyone's going to make it look that smooth.
Yes. So far we've got one top on women's one.
Yep.
Some close tops on men's two. A couple tops on men's one.
Yep.
One top on women's two.
Okay. So it's spreading out. If you want to follow along, cec.results.info. That's going to give you live scoring, quote unquote live scoring. It's going to bring it pretty close to what we're looking at.
And Avery McDonald is now on, giving our first look at women's three. Yeah, and we still have women on women's one. Very interesting.
It's blowing my mind.
Matt looks like he's staticking / flashing.
Yep.
The first move here, is he going to be able to get out of this position? Oh, and he does.
Good stuff from Maddie.
This might be a big deal. You know, there's a lot of attempts being taken on this boulder. But bet into the final move. I feel like she'll definitely be a dynamic beta on this. I think that's her style for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and she also doesn't go with the foot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think she got high enough.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens next time. Avery kind of fighting through. There's a moment where you've got to turn around.
And this is the photo finish right here.
Yeah.
That's photo ops.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one.
That's going to be the best hold you ever see in a finals boulder.
Yes, and it's blocked anyway, right?
But now, business time. Good grief, the top of this looks stout.
Yeah, and it's a long boulder too. And she had such a great start on F1 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not surprised her flash attempts are very quality like this.
Yeah. She's quite young. She's a Youth A climber, so this is her first probably eligibility into Open to Senior Nationals.
Yes.
I keep saying Open because that's what I'm used to. Now it's Senior Nationals.
Senior, yeah.
I also keep saying IFSC and it's World Climbing.
Yeah, it's only been a couple. It's been like a month for that one. I'll give you a pass on that one.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Leo
Yeah, Leo, I'm interested to see on this
Yeah,
because
me
again,
too.
he's got that Ontario outdoor climbing kind of background. But again, it's all about this finish move on this boulder, I think.
And have you got that? I mean, I think it's like core cross-body strength to stay so tight to the wall to make it happen.
Yeah.
Avery, interestingly, right back up on the boulder.
I think this is, like, even though it's a cave boulder, I think it's a lot more relaxed than it looks.
Yeah, perhaps.
Oh, and Babette has fallen for this first move now. You know, when it feels so casual, even if it's the easiest move in the boulder,
Yeah.
you don't give it the attention it needs. This is finals. You know, not any of the moves are just a cakewalk here.
Yeah, that's a classic. I almost topped the boulder, then I missed the first move.
Yes.
Then I do the boulder.
And then you start getting, then you start getting stressed. Like, okay, wait a second. I was
Slow it
expecting to do it.
down.
Second
Yeah.
attempt now.
There we go.
Oh, Ian Tan also making the paddle work.
Yeah, my goodness, Leo. Surprising, but here. So, a little bit of sports action. Babette on the right. And Avery making the swing, and now what can Leo do? Avery back to the business.
Yeah, Leo stepping on some dual techs.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit confused maybe with the beta. There's a lot, like we were saying before, like there's a lot going on in this boulder. A lot of feet, a lot of options, and a lot of things are working. So it is tough to kind of figure that out.
Yeah, and you even saw there, like, it didn't look like he drove off the feet very far. He was caught reaching, which is something that, I mean, even after that many years of experience, every now and then you get caught reaching rather than driving or climbing into a hold, and just really shorted himself. And Elise has been fighting the start of this boulder since the clock turned over.
So Babette has got 30 seconds left, and she's calling it. She's calling it there. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Yeah, I definitely would have called a top on that one, but
Yep.
maybe it's just not feeling this boulder.
Yep.
I think sometimes it's not just about saving energy. It's like, I don't think this is happening. I might as well just,
Yeah,
save it up for the next one.
it's true, and that's the last climber on boulder number 1. So, she's like, all right, I got a little bit of time to move in and out here, and we're gonna do a quick swap-a-rooney. So Madison's going to just step out for a second, and we're going to bring in a little surprise guest. So Sabrina Taylor is going to join me in the booth. Just getting the headset on. We're tight quarters here. We've got to get into the chair. Sabrina, welcome.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
What have you liked about what you've seen so far?
Oh my God, so much action.
Yeah, that's what we've said several times now.
Yeah, I'm more stressed out than when I'm climbing, actually.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. So now we're staring down boulder number 2, and then for the gentlemen, we get our first look at 3. Meanwhile, Rena in the corner here. So this boulder here, we're just talking about how interesting it is that it doesn't look physically difficult until you turn the corner.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a bit of a journey.
Yeah, I think you need to make the right decisions, and if not, it's going to be really physically hard.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
So it is like a cave boulder, but you can do some work with balance.
Yeah, these types of boulders are really disorienting.
She does make that work, and now it's really going to come down to this pinch. Can she make this pinch go?
Yeah, that's a pretty bad pinch.
Oh, and meanwhile, TJ getting into the finish move of his slab. He climbed out so quickly. TJ Foley with a flash of his slab boulder, and Rena making this big open-handed sloper. Oh, wow, indeed.
Really good round so far for Rena.
Yeah, a lot happened in Amelia Callanan. Amongst all of that, as the room settles back down, has to get onto the start of her slab boulder.
Yeah, that slab looks really unforgiving and uncomfortable as well.
Yeah, I'll give you that. If you are not really committed to the press, and then we saw Evangelina get up really high into a small box that really worked for her, but not everyone's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, it looks also like the crimp is a little blind when you're in that position. But Amelia did say she really wished she had a really good long slab in semifinals and qualifiers. So I hope she'll be happy about.
Yeah, happy but sad.
Yeah, you need to pass this little first part, and then the rest looks like a true slab.
So give us a little bit of inside information. So you climbed in the semifinal.
Yeah.
The boulders were really hard.
Yeah, very hard.
Is the recovery period's quite short. So what would the athletes have done between the end of semifinals and getting ready to get into isolation for the start of the finals round?
Yeah, it's hard to decide what to do. Like if you want to go back to where you're staying, or but you definitely need to rest, reset your mind if it didn't go like as well as you wanted, and yeah, basically just rest as much as you can, drink some water, eat some food.
Eat some food.
Yeah.
Is it, when you come back into isolation, are you warming up or are you just getting moving? Are you still feeling like your fingers are ready to grab small holds from a couple hours earlier, or do you need to restart the whole process?
Usually I personally do a lot of like almost like recovery things because I'm just like a bit sore at that point. So I'm just trying to more like articulation, like movement, stuff like that. Yeah. You're still pretty warm usually.
Yeah. That's good, right? You don't want to spend a lot of extra time grabbing holds in isolation if you don't have to.
Yeah. And I like bled in semifinals for
You're right.
I don't know. It doesn't happen that often that I bleed, but the holds were pretty sticky, so you have to watch out for the skin as well.
Yeah, we were talking about sort of the number of like new-looking high friction holds here.
Yeah.
And the negative side of that is every time you fall off a high friction hold, you are doing damage to that layer. And skin maintenance, if you don't compete a lot, then it's not something. Maybe climbing 3 rounds in a day and a half is something that your skin maybe isn't used to.
Yeah. And even just preparing for it, like taping your fingers when you feel like you're close to bleeding, so you prepare like for finals, if you make it.
Right.
But yeah, it's a lot of strategic like decisions and stuff. Yeah. And also like most of the boulders were very physical in semifinals, so lots of hold grabbing.
Right. Lots of grabbing things.
Yeah.
We saw a good look at Rena and TJ topping their boulders there. I'm curious if TJ made the slab look easy or if the slab was in fact doable, as we have Kinder stepping out now. Victor didn't get the zone on this boulder, which I am a little bit surprised by, but also like TJ and Ian just climbed it really, really well. So this is what happens in a final. Yes, they come out in reverse order, but they're all so close that we're going to flip this order several times over the course of 4 boulders.
Yeah, sometimes the style changes from round to round, and it makes it really interesting because the order does like change, and I think that's what we're seeing a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, and TJ's climbing a little bit inspired. I think the hometown crowd maybe is making that difference.
It looks like momentum is important in this round.
And Guy was saying to us during the semifinal broadcast that Kinder would tell you, and he would tell you, that crimps are not his forte. So a crimp, like a really old school, powerful crimp boulder, is not going to be what Kinder's looking forward to. And he was saying that there is an awareness that comes with knowing that you're climbing into your weakness, and you have to maybe not be so hard on yourself, as we see Ian making progress into the zone of his slab boulder, and just not being able to hold the barn door. It feels like every move on that you could fall off of.
Yeah, that's usually what slab game is.
Yeah.
Just keeping calm.
Slowly falling upwards the whole time.
Exactly, yeah. But it's good we have some like really good slabs, I think, because there aren't a lot of slab walls here. So there were a lot of like physical boulders, some coordination in the other 2 rounds. A little less slab, I think, than usual.
Kinder back up pretty quickly, trying to be a little bit more clever, trying to find a heel hook that maybe doesn't need to be there. That sort of starts to happen when you don't feel secure. Right? You're looking for things to stay static, especially the McNamees. We know they do this. Can Ian get, this isn't the zone yet. He's on it. He's not going to get, I don't think he's going to get points for that. The zone, it's not enough to touch the zone. You need to grab the zone hold, and then you need to make a movement showing that you are able to use the hold to move yourself.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a lot of word salad, but we've been trying to bear down on the definition of zone for like 20 years. This is about as good as it gets.
Yeah. It's hard when you're climbing, especially slab. If you need to keep being slow, but you kind of want to show movement to get the zone.
You're like, oh, look at me.
Yeah,
I'm holding the zone.
Yeah. And it's hard for the judges as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you would you wouldn't catch me judging this boulder.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I'm gonna do. Let's go see a boulder that has a really obvious zone.
Yeah.
I'll take that one. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Still working really hard, Adriana, in this inside out. So that also showing, as you said, like if you don't quite piece it together right, it turns into a very physical boulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Ian now, he's so close to this.
Yeah, he's gonna want the zone.
It's about 40 seconds. And can he drive across? Oh my goodness, trying to find something to do with his left foot.
Oh, okay. No idea, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, maybe he doesn't know either.
Yeah. That's hard when you have like 30 seconds.
Mhm.
You were really close to the zone. Oh, he's going back up too. And
Yeah,
Kinder's going back.
yeah, needs to just do the thing. And we were mentioning also earlier that some of the men have turned that into a coordination
Yeah.
move, and it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, I think the left crimp is probably just a little worse than you would want. So
Yeah.
you maybe don't think you can hold it. So then you try something.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think that's why the heel hook as well.
Yeah. When you walk into a finals, then you've previewed all the boulders,
Yeah.
and do you give yourself like 3 I mean, obviously it's boulder dependent, but if a boulder that is like has options, or do you sort of cut yourself at 2 and be like, look, pick one and try really hard?
I think you give yourself a couple options.
Yeah.
And then the first try, and then a second one. Also, I know a lot of athletes give themselves a word.
Okay.
Like, so maybe this one's a little electric. They'll say like a commitment.
Okay.
And then they'll know the vibe of the boulder.
Okay.
And then maybe the slab is, slow, confident, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
And then
instead
as
of,
long
like,
as your
beta.
beta fits into your kind of mindset of that boulder, you're on the right track.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes even like bad beta can be good beta if you just
Yep.
commit to it.
Yeah. As we see Evangelina with a hip smear,
Yeah,
turning around earlier.
I feel like this is her style. She likes to like crawl through a boulder.
Yeah. As long as she's got her hand on something, she's happy to just keep grabbing and moving.
Yeah. She always has her chalk bag, so
Yeah.
she can stay there for a while.
Ugo
Nice.
makes that work, so that's good stuff. It feels like, even though it took TJ a while to get this sorted, that if you got the zone, you're probably going to get a top.
Yeah.
So Ugo Dorval
Oh,
doing
nice.
good work. And Evangelina coming around the corner. Time to have a little quick chalk before bearing into this last 2 moves. Coming over the lip has proven to be difficult,
Yeah.
but we saw Rena do it.
Yeah, so we know it's doable for
Yeah.
sure.
Meanwhile,
Oh.
Oscar's swinging around a little bit. Yes, good stuff. Just careful here. We saw Rena get a little sneaky heel hook higher than that. But yes, Evangelina Briggs is
Good
going to get
catch,
boulder
too.
number 3 done.
She almost slipped while matching.
Yeah.
And you also need to show good control
Yes.
when you're matching.
Yeah, longer than you think you should.
Do you know Elnaz?
I know her a little bit.
Okay.
I met her at the Dock Masters a couple of years ago.
Okay.
She climbed really well at that. And she was, at that time, talking about moving to Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's an Iranian climber who decided that it was time to leave and wanted to come to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about coming to Calgary or to Vancouver, and ended up landing in Vancouver, and has, just been welcomed by that climbing community. I think she's been
Nice.
climbing and training with them. I see her posting about, climbing at Progression, and that
Yeah.
BC community was just like, yeah, come on in, one of us.
Nice.
And yeah, super strong climber. She was the
Very
top.
strong.
She was the top climber coming into semifinals, and is so far though has shown climbing well. But again, Boulder 1 didn't really give us a lot of tops. So
Yeah. She looks a little like an outdoor boulder. Like very, very physically strong.
yes, but doing this, the more women I see on this boulder, the more I liked Evangelina's like mantle high foot.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think the foot is also blind. The crimp is blind, the foot is blind, so
The whole thing is like, why are we here?
Yeah, and it's hard for the crowd. We can see the foot in the hand. We want to help her, but we can't.
Ooh, Oscar going really open 3-finger there. And this is, I don't know what to think about the climbers of this physical ability having trouble on decent crimps.
Yeah.
And maybe you share the same opinion. Madison was saying that it's been a while since we've just bared down on crimps in competition. So this is a bit of it's a new movement, even though it's a really old movement.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just a dead point to some crimps, you know? Like.
Yeah, I feel like it's tempting to like work like almost only on coordination and slabs when you're like a comp climber, but for sure you need to keep up with that physical boulders as well.
Yeah, so Elmad's going to take it all the way down to the wire, just trying to get a zone. She's going to be disappointed, but she's in very good company of people who did not get a zone so far on that boulder. And so is Oscar, so he's going to be mad, but really we saw TJ and Ian, and then no one else.
Yeah, that last crimp looked super sharp and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We saw Ian react to it when he first touched it, like,
His face, as you see a look at Ugo's top of the slab. Good stuff. I mean, this is I'm becoming a convert for our new finals format. It is a lot to look at. I do like having the slowed down time to talk about boulders individually, but this does give us a lot to bounce around to. And as climbers are doing boulders or flashing boulders, it does give us a little bit of a break. Now we can look at 3 boulders instead of 4. But Babette has also traditionally climbed slab quite well.
Yeah.
She does have the ability to climb slow and powerful. And Elise Villeneuve, a local hero, and also, you know, in the pedigree, the family, Simon, a long-time competitor. And look at this. Matthew Rodriguez.
Yeah, he looks really comfortable.
Just pulling down. So is this the East Coast versus West Coast version of climbing hard boulders?
Yeah, he does a lot of kilterboard, so he does look in his element here.
And can he get this hip shift?
Oh,
yes,
nice.
That's one.
Ooh.
Can he get both?
Really
Matthew Rodriguez, yes. Wow. Flashing a boulder that has rejected all 7 men previously. Matthew Rodriguez is going to be ecstatic to top that boulder. My goodness. My goodness.
That was a really good top.
That was really good. It happened almost too quickly.
Yeah, but also, like, you want to flash that type of boulder.
Yes.
You don't want to try a lot on those crimps.
Yeah. No, it's like tiring. One and done. Thank you very much. Babette going to the foot, and you see how quickly it rejects you.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
I think now it's going to be a little bit of like a mental game for Babette. I know she wants to win.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
And what you know of her climbing style, you've climbed around her and with her a lot of competitions. Is this like a slab boulder in this style? Is that going to get in her head, or is she going to be able to just sort of get the work done?
I think she's going to be able to get the work done. I think she looks
Avery with a big move to start a boulder for. She's okay.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure she's fine.
Yeah, and at least going inward, trying something different. Maybe that's going to work for her. The hold is really big. Like, it's enticing to want to jump to it.
Yeah. Especially those corner boulders are not always comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So Babette going to the Briggs method, if you will. But now you have to step on the no-tex. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that looks a bit hard position to...
Yeah, you don't always want to be completely horizontal. A minute now. And Leo has not made good progress on the slab. And anytime you don't see a climber on the screen, it's unfortunately because they're not really doing their job to the level they need to be doing to get close to finishes. So back into this version. She just needs to get that left foot up a little higher.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Nice, making it work.
That's a super important zone. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
At least still fighting in the corner.
Well, with that amount of time, though, I think that's probably Babette's try for the top.
Yes.
I don't think she'll get another one.
I agree.
It's such a long boulder. A lot of moves.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Just sort of went a little bit desperate, or was falling off and tried to make an adjustment
maybe
somewhere
falling
in there.
Off
Yeah.
And then try to fall upwards, like you said.
Yeah, and be like, there's a hold to be had over there.
Yeah. I don't
So
think
that's frustrating, but a zone is still important there.
Yeah.
And what we got here, though, Leo getting turned aside by the slab. So things are moving around. As we keep saying, if you're just joining us, you're super late. But we are in Calgary at Canadian National Bouldering Championships. We're about halfway through the round. It's really hard to tell what point we're in. I think we're about halfway through the round. Some of the boulders have been done. Actually, let's get a look at what she did try and do here. So you see, it is no text.
Oh.
It looks like she totally did that on purpose.
Yeah, I think maybe she was falling off, and then she thought might as well try to jump.
And it's a decent hold overall.
Yeah.
It's a decent hold overall.
But it's not like a jug.
No.
Like you need to be close to the wall.
Exactly. So you can follow along. CEC.results.info, go to bouldering, go to the final. Right now, I'll give you a quick rundown at this point after two boulders. TJ Foley sitting at the top ahead of Hugo Bont. Attempts, and then Kinder, Oscar, Victor, and Matt have only done one boulder, but then Ian and Leo sitting 7th and 8th, also having done 2 boulders. On the women's side, we have got Evangelina Briggs with 3 boulders down. Sitting at the top, my goodness, Rena Gao currently sitting in 2nd place. Avery McDonald in 3rd with 3 zones. Babette, 1 boulder behind. Sophie King, Elise, Elmaz, Adriana, and Amelia. So a lot going on, but I would encourage you to follow along on cec.results.info, and we get to see now
Victor on the slab.
Victor moving, look, you can see the tension in that left arm, trying not to lose the open door here. Is he going to do this little hop?
Oh, nice. Oh.
And you just see that.
Yeah.
Drive to the jib, but not quite able to make it stick. And TJ Foley, who the crowd has been absolutely loving as a local, one of the few, I think the only man from Alberta. So the crowd have been happy to cheer for him. Rita makes the toe hook stick.
Oh, no.
Wow. What a
So
crazy
close.
move.
Yeah, that boulder looked really fun.
Yeah, Amelia in the turnaround move.
Nice.
And TJ, our first look at Boulder 4, and all of a sudden he looks human. He's been climbing like a man possessed, and this
Yeah.
boulder has just stumped him right off the bat. Emilia now?
Yeah, Emilia's fighting now. Oh, nice.
Oh, is able to cut the feet there, gets that low heel.
Nice. Oh, so good.
Really nice.
Oh, that's gonna make her feel better about her round.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really looks like momentum from the beginning of the round is important.
Yeah.
All the athletes that have done well in the first boulders look on fire.
Yeah.
And then it looks like it's a challenge for the rest.
I agree. Marina looking strong here. I'm curious, I know Amelia has been injured. Have you been training with her? When did she come back?
Yeah, so she dislocated her elbow in May, I think. And it does take a couple months to come back from that, obviously. But once the elbow is stable, usually it's an injury that heals pretty well.
Okay.
I think it's the mental part that's the hardest to heal.
Right.
Yeah, very traumatizing injury.
Yeah, for sure. And you're thinking about how to fall on it everywhere going forward. Yeah. So she's had time back in the gym to get strong, but she hasn't. Is this her first comp? Do you know?
No, actually her first comp back, I think, was our local dyno comp.
Okay. Oh my goodness, of all things.
Yeah, it was crazy,
things.
and she did really, really well. So I think her mental game is pretty good right now.
Okay, that's good to know. Victor back out with a minute to go now. Maybe the foot first. I mean, I would love to see this go a little slower.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a really nice challenge from the setters because it's hard to tell if you're supposed to go slow or not.
Right.
Because it's a slab.
It's a slab, but do you want to go kind of 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rena, I love this move so much.
Yeah.
There is a tiny crimp. You can't see it in the shadow that helps you go to the pinch. But as you go to the pinch, the toe hook sort of releases on you.
Yeah, you need to really hold that compression.
Yeah. I think this is the most interesting movement on the women's boulders, is boulder number 4.
Yeah, it looks like it would be my favorite, personally.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
TJ, the crowd is cheering for TJ off camera, giving a wave, and Victor just, that time went a little bit rushed, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
As that barn door opens, you have to decide if you want to try and control it or just rush your way out of it. He rushed out. That jib is bad. It's no text leading in. It's almost like if you've been watching some of the climbers who don't compete much anymore. We see Rena, you get a good slow-mo look at this toe hook, have been building like slide boulders where they slide down a boulder, kind of either hands or no hands, and land on a foothold. It feels like a tiny baby version of that, suitable for competition.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
Okay, so we are now, I honestly still trying to keep up. Ian is on 4.
Yeah.
I feel like we should have a second man out somewhere.
Yeah, Kinder's on the slab.
Kinder's on the slab. Okay, it's just, I turned my head, he was behind somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then we have Sophie on 4 and Adriana on 4 and Sophie on 3. Good Lord, this is hard. I need a map. I need a matrix to track.
There's a lot going on.
And I think we're going to see Kinder be Kinder and climb a slab.
I don't know how good he is on slab. I don't haven't seen him on slab that much.
I remember his first World Cup in Salt Lake City. He topped a slab boulder.
Okay, nice.
And like half the field didn't. And that was sort of like, that was a watershed moment of like, ooh, you got some of the chops when the boulder's in your style.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like sometimes though you're good at slab, but then you can fall on the slab. You're physical boulder, then you get like, I don't know. There's a little nuance too with the styles.
Oh my goodness! Oh, so much nuance.
But this jump looks a bit hard.
Yes.
On number 4.
I tell people that I'm good at slab, and then just when I fall off slab, they're like, yeah, but not this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not this one.
Yeah.
A slab I did 15 years ago told me I was good at slab, and I have walked away ever since.
And there's so many different types, like slab, like more balanced slab, the smear slab that I don't really love as
I like
much.
a good Squamish slab. Yeah.
Okay.
I like a good faith,
yeah,
believe in yourself, kind of like step on the crystals.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see that.
And I love this. For competition, I love this sort of handless movement.
Yeah, for sure.
I was watching them set that boulder and was waiting for them to put the handholds on.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I was like, oh, they're going to put at least one handhold at the beginning here.
Yeah, that's what I meant to when I said we didn't have like a lot of slabs. Our slabs were pretty physical. So it's nice to have like almost like feet only slabs.
Yeah. And Kinder's going to make a liar out of me by struggling on the beginning. Ian has also, after coming out gangbusters on the first couple of boulders, this one is going to immediately stump him. 2 minutes gone already. So is it, are the men missing a foot first toe hook around the corner the way the women's semi was set?
Ooh,
are they just trying to be too powerful? What are they missing?
No, I think it's a power boulder, but they might be a little tired at this point as well.
Sophie trying to decide which feet to put where and when. Kinder sort of caught reaching there, not really moving his feet across. Sophie just...
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good.
And by the time you get here, you're a little bit tired.
Yeah. Sophie's been having a lot of good comps recently. A lot of like a really good progression.
Yeah.
Also look always just really happy to climb.
Yes,
nice to see.
yeah, I love to see that. And she is having a little bit of trouble with this move. Oh my goodness. She is just showing fight beyond what we've seen anyone need to do on this boulder in this round. Sophie King, keep that heel, swaps it. Oh my goodness.
I thought she was dropping it.
Sophie King pulls the top out of what I thought was almost certainly going to be a fall at the top there.
Yeah. She did a nice little head whip.
Wow. Really cool. Kinder has not gotten the zone. Neither has Ian. The zone on men's 4 is going to be very expensive. That boulder, that zone is a long, long way away.
Yeah, that's a big ask. After two other rounds, lots of physical boulder, and you finish on a campus power boulder.
Yeah, I think you need to go home and sit Caleb and Victor down.
Yeah, we're gonna
and be
talk
like,
to them.
guys, what? That's a lot to ask.
Yeah, that's a little mean.
Just a touch mean. Just a touch mean. Maybe somebody said something they didn't like,
Yeah.
and they were like, all right, we see you.
Yeah.
We see you.
Also, like the setters, that's typically the first round that they set.
Yep.
So they're fresh when they're setting this round, and we're the opposite.
Yeah, and everyone else is tired while climbing this round.
Yeah.
So interestingly, Evangelina Briggs has flipped the leaderboard. She is sitting at the top with one boulder to go ahead of Rena. So it looks like Evangelina, I mean, and I would like to think that boulder 4 here is in her style.
Yeah. I mean, she did have a little bit of a hard time with the first one, which was a jump.
Yeah.
But I don't know what her style is with like jumping and stuff. But maybe she'll be really psyched about how it's going.
About how excited she is to do the thing.
Yeah, she has won nationals in the past.
Yes, sir.
I think it was 2021.
2021, correct.
Yeah, I remember it was like it was a weird comp because it was the first one after COVID.
Yeah, I remember too.
So it's kind of like seeing who trained during the pandemic, who didn't.
who pretended to, who posted about training but didn't really post about training on social media. Yeah, I do remember that comp very, very well in Quebec City.
Yeah. She won with a slab that like nobody did, I think, except for her.
Elmaz working her way through, and Oscar Baudrin getting into the zone on the first try. So that might shake up the men's side of the leaderboard a little bit.
That was really close.
Elmaz, I mean, really not looking stressed at all here, as you said.
Looks like really in her style.
Yeah, powerful climber.
Yeah. Oh, Hugo's there as well. Nice. That's also Hugo's style, so I hope we'll see at least a zone.
Tall and powerful.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, we can see just by the fight that they're having to have that they're all a little tired.
Yeah. But I mean, Elmaz has World Cup finals experience, so that's when you know where to pull the reserves from.
Yeah.
Really good top. I mean, I think that's a necessary top for the podium.
I think so,
The podium people who want to be on the podium. That boulder is not hard enough that they definitely should be doing it. Ooh. Really good save there from Evangelina. Swinging around a little bit.
Yeah, classic Evangelina Beta.
Yeah, kind of got a little bit turned around. She's like, no, that wasn't it. We're like, we know.
We were talking about the setters being mean. Also this really skin-intensive boulder at the end of a round. Not super nice as well, but I mean, you need to challenge the athletes. So.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what we're here for. And Madison was saying that this is she thinks the highest level she's seen at a nationals ever. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. And I feel it's interesting because it's a lot of athletes that do have a different type of pressure on them.
We're watching, just look at this. Like, almost if she had the other heel on, maybe that would have worked. But yeah, as you're saying, a different type of pressure.
Yeah, because it's like World Cup athletes, and it's like a lower level comp. So you kind of feel like you might expect yourself to like climb everything easily, and it's not going to be the case. And yeah, you still need to try hard on the boulders.
On every single boulder.
So I think it's more of like a really good mental challenge for all the athletes to do nationals. And it's so good for the development of the sport for them to
Yes, absolutely. So I'm sure you're going to be a little bit biased towards the East Coast, but where do you think the hotbed of, as we see Oscar making no mistakes once he got past the zone, where do you think the core of our sort of strongest climbing at comp level is right now?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, it's Montreal.
I'm gonna say Montreal. Yeah, we have a lot of the Team Canada athletes at Roseblock. But also you could tell from all the Quebec athletes, like especially the men, all the like pre-qualified athletes were from Quebec. Yeah. So we had all our quotas for like. Right, already filled. Yeah, definitely a good place to train, Montreal. Just a density of gyms, a lot of talented route setters. Evangelina, it is Boulder 4. She is going to give it one more.
I guess she didn't really love the match to come in the way Rena did with that toe hook catch. Ugo's giving it one last, basically one for the crowd. This boulder, insanely physical, really good fight. Everybody, I love the crowd here right now is giving everybody a good send-off on Boulder 4. They're giving them a lot of respect on the way out the door. They had to work really hard.
Yeah, we enjoy to see the fight from the athletes. It's always fun to watch. Oh, there's Elnaz on her top.
Yep.
It's funny because with the head going back, you kind of feel like maybe they're trying hard, but they're just like relieved.
Yeah, exactly. There's a very fine line between like the snap and the, oh my goodness, I'm so happy I did that boulder the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get in and out of that corner again.
No, yeah. Sometimes that gives you a little push.
Yeah.
When like there's one move that you don't really love, you're out of it. You're like, okay, I'm not doing this again. I'm gonna top this boulder now.
Yeah, the number of people that I've heard say, I'm like, oh my God, I only sent that because I didn't want to do the start move again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Leo. Oh, wow.
That looks so slippery.
It looks so rough.
Yeah.
I mean, rough in, yes, slippery, yes, but rough in terms of how slippery it is, not rough in terms of how much friction it is. It's a brutal boulder. I'm gonna see. I mean, Babette has the mobility to do whatever she wants.
For sure.
Here, she could do the splits. She could not do the splits. I don't imagine we're going to see much stress from her on this block.
No, I think we might even see a little bit of anger coming out in strength.
yeah, maybe from not doing the previous.
Yeah. She's going to be like, that's it. Easy top for her, easy flash.
Yeah. And this, we didn't catch it on camera, but my favorite Babette is the walk back to ISO with what is like, there's like an almost internal eye roll of like, well, yeah, of course I did that boulder.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Elise Villeneuve, the only Calgary woman staring down boulder number 4. So she had a bit of trouble early in the round. Let's see if she can pull something out here.
It's kind of hard to tell, like from an athlete's perspective, how the round is going when there's so many athletes on the wall.
Yeah.
So like for the slab, the women's slab, you don't necessarily know that like no one's moving on that boulder. And the start is hard, which is very like demoralizing.
Yeah, and when you're right, it's an excellent point that in this shift where before you were only listening to the crowd basically cheer for one person, you were like, okay, they're doing the boulder, not doing the boulder, they're coming back, they're not coming back, and now you're like, wait a minute, who are they cheering for?
Yeah.
And then you get out and you're like, well, it definitely wasn't the slab because nobody's doing this.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, nice. That's good.
Good stuff from Matthew. Oh, Elise up into the jump. I mean,
super strong.
Yeah, she missed it by a lot on the first try. Maybe it was just doing that, as Madison was saying, the recce attempt, go and figure out how far away it really is.
Yeah.
Matthew fumbles the foot match. That's a really good look. Someone finally moved out of the way. That horizontal or like vertical volume, that gray volume, everything you have to stand on is basically facing the wrong way.
Yeah. I think that tells you that you kind of need to move faster at that point. You're not going to completely smear on this and be
just
comfortable.
Stand and be like, oh, let me take my time. Maybe I'll chuck up a little bit. No.
Yeah, no.
Meanwhile, over here, the order of the day might be you need to move quicker. So this is the coordination that the men were hunting for on the crimp boulder and didn't need. And now it's here and they're exhausted.
Yeah. Also, I feel like once you slip from that hand and you fall flat on your back, it's hard to commit as much, maybe.
For sure.
It's not a fun fall.
No. Elise back up into the jump, and Matthew needs to dial this in a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
I do believe that the slab top is going to be important for the podium, because I don't think that 4 is going to get done by very many. Oh, he does!
Nice.
He sticks it without the foot.
Yeah.
And then immediately into the double thumbs, Matthew Rodriguez with a critical top of the slide. The relief evident on his face after missing the opening for almost 4 straight minutes.
Yeah.
That's a last try burn.
Come on. Oh, that was so close.
He looks at the clock and has to wave.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out, Sab.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I loved your insight, and someone who climbed in the semis and like knows what the level was at this weekend. Super appreciate you. And I think maybe you're going to come and hang out on the lead semifinal
I'll
on
try to
Sunday?
come. Yeah.
Sweet. We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. All right, we're going to swap that out, bring Maddie back in. Couple of boulders to go, couple of climbers to go. We're seeing a lot of physical requirements for the men now on boulder number 4. So this is where really it's going to come down to it. Madison, this 4th men's boulder, what on earth do they need to do? We were just talking about how they were hunting for dynamic paddle on 2, but here's where it actually was hiding.
It's interesting, yeah. Like, and I have to assume the Montreal climbers will have a little bit of an inkling of kind of this move. It looks like something I've seen before.
Yeah.
But it looks like a harder version of whatever we've said
of whatever
before.
you've seen before.
Yeah.
Amelia. And I didn't actually know the nature of her injury, and Sab was filling me in that she had dislocated her elbow, for goodness sake, and then entered a dyno comp as her first recovery competition.
I know. So
that takes some guts.
Well, when she said, she's feeling a little bit nervous about it, it's like, well, then she signed up for that comp. So she's clearly confident. But yeah, there's like a little bit of that like doubt of like, am I in the shape at least of what I used to be? But she obviously, like, she's very skilled naturally. Like, even with a little bit of a handicap this past off season, she's, climbing into finals, which I think is really impressive. Let's see if Victor can figure this out. He looks pretty controlled here.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, I like it. You can hear. Yes.
Yeah. Oh no.
And I did say to Sal, I wondered if the men were missing a feet first move. And they were just trying to be too physical.
Yeah.
And maybe the setting is intended. Oh, Amelia sticks the double Gastons. And can she get the toe hook? Maddie, I'm curious what you're seeing on this boulder, because we saw Evangelina completely avoid the swing to toe, but we saw Rena do it like she'd been doing it in her sleep.
Yeah, well, I was just talking to Guy McNamee in the break, and he was saying it could be, you want to have both holds to, jump from, because you're not going to be able to generate with just a side pull facing the wrong way. It's definitely both when you're swinging for the foot.
Right.
And then I think potentially the best beta, Guy was saying, is as you stick the toe hook, you come into the zone, and now you've got 2 hands there. I think Rena did it without doing that, but that seems to be an effective way to do it.
Victor trying twice and missing the toe. Can he get the toe to stick? No. So we got it once. The crowd told him how, he was the first person to do that, and now he's gone back to toe, but he just can't make it stick, and that's fatigue. Madison has to be. Core fatigue makes it really hard to hold a long, low toe like that.
It's also, I know that hold's got a lot of dual techs, even on the good side.
Yeah.
So he probably didn't feel that good when he even stuck the toe hook. It obviously stuck, but that doesn't mean that he can move off of it or even get his hand to match that.
Wow, and what a boulder to put at the end of the round.
Yeah. We're pushing our athletes harder every year, right? We got to get the level up here in Canada. We got to get into those semifinals and finals. And the only way to do that is to raise the level of our national championship. I think the setters also knew that it was a full house on the men's side, especially. And I think they didn't hold back, and they definitely are anticipating some good moves from Victor. Wow.
Yeah, a little heel hook.
He's trying everything. You got to give him props for finding every iteration of possible beta.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, given some time, all of these would work. It's just about which one is he have enough energy to execute at the end of his round.
And even here, a zone for Victor puts him at 1 top and 2 zones, not in a podium position. So the men's field has really been kind of knocked around a little bit.
Yeah.
You see Amelia getting the swing going, the catch and drop. That's, I think, what Rena really just... She had it so perfectly dialed.
A little bit more, aggression, I'd say, even coming in. She's a bit too gentle with the swings. You got to really give it, because that toe hook's really far.
And you almost want to have a little bit of pullback, right? You want to have something to catch the rubber on.
Yeah.
Here we go, Victor. Trying to get a little weird push-pull bicycle there.
Slipping out there,
And then the guy, that's it.
He tried his best.
Yeah, I did everything. I tried everything. Okay, so top of the field right now for the men. Matty Rodriguez sitting on top with a boulder to go. So he's got 1 in hand. TJ Foley in second, done his round. Hugo in third, done his round. And now we've got Kinder, can get not on the podium. My goodness. It's
interesting how it's shaping up.
Yeah. And on the women's side, let's have just a little peek. Evangelina Briggs Babette's got room on the last boulder.
Yeah, there's definitely potential, but it's a tall order. If you really are embodying that, you are a national champion, you're going to do the hardest boulder in the round.
You're going to do the hardest boulder. Yep.
Yeah, setters, I don't think like having a boulder in the final that doesn't get topped.
Yes.
So I think they're probably sweating a little bit with these women's four, men's four, yeah. But we're trying to get these athletes to dig deep, and I think they are. They definitely are.
Sophie going heel hook.
I wonder if this could work. Like with enough of a push, you could go all the way up maybe to the pinch even.
But is the intermediate good enough to stop you?
Oh, she's pretty close. I wonder if you could take that heel out and be able to reach over there. Oh, Kinder.
Jeez, Kinder.
Is Kinder going to do it? Oh,
wow.
my God.
Oh, my Lord.
He zoned it.
Kinder McNamee, power to spare.
Oh.
Got to get this toe. That's not a good hold.
Okay, yeah, and he's going to need a top to make a real difference, I think, in this score. But
my goodness.
He's been known to do this. He's been known to, like, I think in 2023, he topped the final boulder. No one else topped it, and it didn't even put him on the podium. So he's definitely, he's got some interesting strengths compared to the field.
Yes, absolutely. And that, just the way he closed his hand around that before bumping to the zone. There's like a real vice grip moment where you can see some climbers grab the hold and then like find something extra.
Yeah.
Sophie, do you think she got close enough to go back to the heel hook?
I think she's going to try it again. Yeah. If I were her, I mean, like the intended looks very, very hard.
Yeah.
Like to me, if you tried it once or you just eyed it up and was like, no, you definitely, it's good to give it a shot just in case.
Yes.
But it is quite close. Like it's hard to ignore that. And I think seeing a break, Kinder is definitely, breaking it here. They want it to go a bit faster. It's technically not, I guess the heel hook makes it a break here.
And then he does release it. That high toe, and even, it's so tenuous.
Yeah,
the slightest slip.
Yeah. And there's like, it's all dual text, and then like a little inch of friction in the middle.
Yeah, that's a gnarly little sequence in there. Good stuff, Sophie King. I do love it. It's a showy jump move. I do like it. It's medium percentage. She's got a big swing.
Okay, she had more than enough room. Yeah, if she aimed for the crimp, I think that could absolutely go. Yeah. But what position does it put you in after that?
I mean, I feel like the heel comes off immediately.
Yeah.
And now you've got to dynamically load that crimp.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like a really hard way.
Yeah, well, if you can sneak that toe into a heel on the zone, then you're set up really well for the next move.
Okay.
So I'm not opposed to beta breaks whatsoever.
Okay, yeah. How did you read this when you first walked into the gym?
Well, first of all, I didn't see one of the crimps. It's black on black.
It's black on black.
Yeah, I have been known to do this. So I thought we'd just go straight out to the pinch. And she is actually proving that that's possible.
Yep.
So maybe I would still do it and get away with it.
I think you do have the strength for it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
It's
I
possible.
have seen it.
I'm also a bit taller than the field sometimes. That helps.
All right, 30
Kinder.
seconds left. Both climbers on their likely last full effort attempt.
Oh, it looks like he forgot about the heel hook for a second there.
And then
okay, let's see if he's got enough to dig deep for this.
gotta break
and he
the
does.
wrist over.
Oh,
jeez.
The thumb just gave out on that dual text.
He got up looking at the clock and then slowed down and went, my goodness, I don't think I've got it in me.
But he can rest easy with that zone. Like, sometimes it's not just about where you place at the end of the day. It's also about how you perform. You're testing yourself at this event.
Absolutely.
And so to zone or even top something that no one else did, even if it doesn't put you on the podium, is a very good thing to walk away with.
It's a really good point that you bring up, and we bring it up a bit late, but now we're thinking podiums. But there are 8 climbers and 3 spots.
Yeah.
So more than half the field doesn't get a podium spot. So we don't just talk about the podium. There's development. There's what did you do? What were you successful on? Did you do something out of your style? Did you overcome a mental break? Like a finals teaches you a lot. And do you remember your first senior national finals?
Of course.
And it taught you something.
Of course. Yeah. Like even like just putting yourself against these like veterans and doing some of the moves, catching up and realizing maybe there's still a gap, but you're not that far off.
Yeah, you belong.
Gives you that motivation for the rest of the season.
You
take it into your off season, take it into your North American Cup season.
Yeah.
So, even though we're not maybe getting as many points at nationals, like in terms of like selecting for the team, it's definitely far more reaching, further reaching than that.
I love that.
Okay.
So Oscar now is also going to try heel hooking. So a little East Coast, West Coast with the same beta.
Interesting, yeah.
Elnaz going heel hook.
Is she going to try the Sophie break?
Yeah, and maybe her and Sophie talked about it. I'm not sure how much they climbed together.
Yeah.
A couple of BC ladies.
A knee bar?
Knee bar, but on her hand. Yeah.
She got it out.
With a little lightning match.
So yeah, this has been a theme with her. You know, Boulder 1, she was also trying to static to the finish.
Yeah.
Unsuccessful, but I wonder if she's going to ditch it or she's going to try it again. It's kind of hard to tell.
Oscar. Can you get that left hand when you're reaching across your body? They actually want to be more square, so that there's really not a lot of purchase when he's first grabbing it.
And I think Kinder kind of like he's trying to take his heel out a bit early. I think Kinder got a little further over before he like took. He was almost like a nice gentle taking out of the heel, and he's like kind of doing a dynamic heel bump.
Kind of release like that, not as much push into the hand.
Exactly.
And she is gonna at least give it a second try.
Yeah, it was very close. You just need a little more skin or a little less more friction.
God, it's a tentative reach. I mean, the crimp is decent. I think it's about maybe half a pad.
Yeah. And
so it's enticing.
And she just second guessed it for that 1 second. I think you gotta really go for it. It's sort of dynamic. It's sort of static.
You might lose the knee bar on the way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all a bit chaotic in that point.
But yeah, if you trust your crimp strength, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Though at this point, I think it's time to if we're talking about what the objective, like what are the tactics you're supposed to do in this situation, now you got to switch beta. You got to check the other one. If we've had 2 unsuccessful attempts, unless you're 100% sure it's right there, which we have no idea knowing what's in her head.
The most success we've seen is Rena's toe hook attempt. So we believe that should be the most progressive way to do it. And now it looks like she's hunting it.
It looks like she pulled up a little bit too much on that last swing. She had a good momentum, and then it kind of got broken a little bit. But I wonder what she's thinking of. Is she thinking that's the way, or I'm going to go back to the first one?
I do, and I love that. If you're watching at home, I would run your stream back. What you said is it's a minute point of that physical movement. When you're trying to reach a toe hook, you actually have to drop low.
Yeah.
But when you're squeezing, you pull up high. So it can be counterintuitive to need to drop away. And that's what you saw was as she swung the toe, too much up. I love that you caught that.
Yeah, and you can see she extended it. That's why coming into the zone is a good idea, because it kind of forces you to get closer and get down on it a bit. Because these are slopers at the end of the day that they're holding on to.
It's true. They're not good.
Yeah. But the fundamental law of slopers, you got to get under them, and you got to have your full hand.
Yep. Get a little bit low. Get your shoulders under your hands.
Yeah.
And appreciate. Of course, we're talking about it like it should be done, but that's our job, is to tell you, the intended way, not at all suggesting that it's anything other than very, very difficult.
Of course.
Or everyone would have done the boulder.
Yep.
And now, Oscar had made progress. And now, I know he's thinking zone, but you can see.
Oh my goodness.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, Oscar hands up, Elnaz hands up. And that is going to bring us to our last 2 climbers of Canadian Nationals 2026. Madison, it's been a ride. Look at this here. Oh, it was so close.
Yeah, just the inch away.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on your last attempt, if you're so fatigued from that, say you stick the final move, do we have enough energy to even get it done?
The boulder's only half done.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll say probably the crux move, but then again, the next one looks really hard too. So
the pitches are brutal.
Very hard to say.
The boulder is half done.
Yeah. So it's not often that we reach the last 2 climbers, and we've got a victory lap for Matt already.
Yep.
That's very impressive. This is his first win, first podium, I believe, which seems weird.
Which does seem weird.
Yeah.
And I see him at kind of other sort of satellite comps crushing.
Yes.
Because he's above that level.
Yeah.
And then he's finally catching up. Maybe training is lining up better for him to line up at this level.
And the experience from all those comps is definitely kicking in at this point. But we'll see if he can show us something special here.
Yeah. And a top.
Oh, false start?
Maybe. Yeah.
It's an easy one to false
start.
start.
Yeah, you're trying to get a double tap over there on the bottom. It's
almost on the borderline of illegal start, because it's not quite control.
Yeah.
You're kind of doing a bit of an L sit
a little
to do
tippity
it.
tap.
Yeah.
Fabs is in control of what her podium position is at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't think that she can go to the top.
Yeah, I think now with those 2 falls, because we take 0.1 no matter whether it's zone or for top.
So she had 6 attempts to a zone where Evangelina's max was 2.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's going to be Evangelina's victory.
Well, that's very exciting for Evangelina.
Super exciting.
But we still have second place
Yep,
on the table.
On the table.
But, you know, she's got to really fight for that.
Yeah.
You know, this is the tall order. Like I said, you know, you got to prove that you're you know, worth being on the national team by, you know, topping the exact hardest one.
Maddie went double, and looks like he jammed his finger. That's not okay over there.
No.
He looks to be in some distress. Yeah.
So
We're sort of focus. I mean, I'm looking at him over his shoulder. It's not. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
But Babette moving well here. Sort of, it looked at the toe hook, but was way too jacked up high to get anywhere near it.
She's also the shortest climber in the field today.
Yep.
I was thinking this would be a harder toe hook for her than others, but again, she's got a little bit of the extra experience, extra skill. It's potential that it kind of evens out.
Yeah. So Maddie holding the tip of one finger.
Oh yeah, I think he
did say he's done.
On?
No, he said I'm done.
No, he's done. Yeah. No, that's the best case scenario. If you're gonna get hurt, you do it after you've already won the comp.
Yeah. So now all eyes on Babette. Maddie's going to get offered maybe some medical assistance. Of course, we have medical all over the place at a national championship. The crowd is going to let them know. Well deserved. And Babette with a minute 20. A minute 20.
Got to soak in these last minutes.
Yep. She is also known for pulling victory and podium spots from what seemed to be last attempts.
Yeah.
I've seen her look super gassed
For
and
sure.
top boulders before.
So
you know she's not, we know for sure the only thing she's not going to do is give up.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's been a tough round for her. You know, there's been a couple heartbreak moments. There's been some, you know, close calls. There's been a last-minute zone. It's been very entertaining, you know, of course. She never disappoints on that side.
No.
But you know what I like about her last attempt? She went right away, right?
Yes.
One swing and then she's in. You know, a lot of athletes have been kind of going back and forth and really sizing it up, but really you only need one good swing and then you're there. And she knows that. Like, she's a very confident climber.
Boom. Yeah,
She's
good
got
stuff.
this dialed and then, and
Love
one.
this angle for the toe hook.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she makes it stick.
Of course she does. There we go.
Onto
20
the crib.
seconds on the clock.
Testing it out.
Oh, just fumbled it.
Yeah,
no.
it looked like she was of two minds to go to the pinch or the crimp.
She went right in the middle
Oh
of the
my
two.
goodness. She'll
Excellent
be
showing.
probably a little bit disappointed, but that's the best attempt on that boulder. As we look at the replay here, she makes this
Yeah, the foot press against the wall.
so good. I love this here. Boom, boom, makes it stick, and she's gonna walk away just shy of the medal I'm sure she wanted, as we see a little replay of Maddie get here, and I think he just jammed at trying to get caught up inside the left-hand catch. Madison, that is going to do it for the 2026 Canadian Bouldering Nationals. It went by so quickly at the end of it all. Let's recap the results for you super quickly. The stream is going to stay on for the podium, so I would encourage you to kind of hang out and watch. They're going to do the podium pretty quick. The scoring is, as we know, almost instant. Evangelina Briggs is going to take home her second national title of her young career. Rena Gao is going to come second, climbing out of Ontario as well. And then Babette Roy is going to take home a bronze medal, which is absolutely fantastic at the national level. So the East's getting it done on the women's side of things. And for the gentlemen, Matthew Rodriguez,
An excellent showing today.
Really good showing. 3 strong tops, really showing himself to be the class of the field. TJ Foley, coming inspired, maybe a little bit of home crowd inspiration, whatever that was. He came out of the gate from bottom of he came out 8th, put himself up into 2nd, and then Ugo Derval, I love to see this. Ugo on the podium, he works so hard.
And he loves it. You can tell he's having fun the whole time, you know?
Absolutely. And just just out Oscar Baudron, and then Kinder, Victor, Ian Ten, Leo Santoprete. So I would have said we would have maybe seen a Baudron, a McNamee, and someone else on a podium.
Yeah.
So that's flipped my expectations inside out,
But
and that's the nature of the game.
Yeah, but totally like plausible. You know, I'm just like, yeah, makes sense. Absolutely. I see it and I saw it. So it was extremely entertaining, and this was one of the best finals I've ever seen.
Oh, wow. I would agree with you. The route setting was absolutely stellar. The crowd, like for a Friday afternoon, really pulled in. And it was like really, I mean, we got a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Right? We got power boulders, we got drama, we got people dropping tops, we got people getting the beta wrong.
Yeah.
We got a bit of everything.
And we got some old school style, we got some new school style, we got some dynos, you know, some slab. We got every single element, I think, of competition climbing was distilled in this round today.
Yeah. We're just probably going to let it run, unless you want to hear us jabber on for the next 6 or 7 minutes. But I think, you know, final thoughts. What do you think? And remember, some of that's going to climb leads, some of them are not. You know, you've been embedded in our scene for so long. Future's bright, I'd like to say. But what do you? Final thoughts. What's on your mind as you watch as this sort of we settle down a little bit from the excitement of the end of a final round?
No, like our national team is getting so competitive amongst themselves, you know, amongst the rest of the world, and I think this national final is the start of a new era in Canadian climbing. I think so. I think all these men have amazing competitors and friends and teammates to work with now. They're all at very, very similar levels. They're neck and neck. They're like tossing these wins back and forth from each other. It's the best place you want to be in a team and have everyone in kind of one location. The women's side, definitely a little bit more sparse, but we're seeing that East Coast developing quite well. Got a couple West Coasters, you know, sneak into these finals very consistently. So I'm just so excited to see what these athletes do with their off season and with their upcoming on season coming up. I think it starts in April.
Yeah, World Cups are coming up around the corner. So I am curious, of course, are you going to be ready to rock for the start of the World Cup season? You're looking after a 10 in, you're taking very careful care of it. What does your season look like looking ahead?
Yeah, so it's actually a sad story for me because, not because I'm not able to do the season, but because I probably could have done this event at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just last week, it took a turn, and I was really feeling a lot better, and I was like, uh-oh, it's like, not quite comp ready, but like I could have probably done it after all this stuff. So, yeah, it's sad that I missed this event because, of course, it looks amazing. But I'm probably going to be A-okay for the season, and I'm gunning for the first one in China on May 1st.
Amazing. I mean, I loved watching your career. I mean, I've seen you climb since you were a youth athlete, so I've loved watching your career take off. I love having you in the booth here. Your insights, just absolutely like spot on knowledge of movement, that kind of thing has been super valuable. I hope people watching at home that you appreciate what you got out of our evening this evening. And I want to take just a couple minutes. It's always really important. We have so many volunteers that have to come together to make something like this work. So if you're in Calgary and you come down to Boulder, I would encourage you to come and thank anyone that you think might even have been near the event as a volunteer. Nothing happens without that number of volunteers. The Alberta Climbing Association obviously has a heavy part in helping organize. The CEC, Climb Canada, sending delegates in here, beta breakers. So Basim, you can just see there he is behind us, who came up from New York to put this live stream on, and he brings a lot of his own time and effort into this. So a lot of hands go into making national championships, and then you add on a broadcast and all of this. So massive thank you to all the volunteers, the judges, the route setting crew. I mean, 10 out of 10 route setting, right? These are some of the best boulders I think I've seen in years and years.
We got the A-list of our, we just got everyone we got doing this event this weekend. So yeah, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, absolutely good times. Thanks for hanging out with us. Stick around and watch that podium if you want to see the prizes and the medals get handed out. We are going to step away and come back on Sunday afternoon is going to be lead semifinals, and then Monday afternoon is going to be lead finals. You're going to head home. Right. Good luck in your upcoming season. Thanks for hanging out with us. 2026 Bouldering National Championships out.
There we go.
have in second place, Rena Gal. Incredible performance in this race. And then in first place, we have Evangelina Briggs. Okay, give it up one more time for your winning Amazing, thank you. Okay. Now, introducing the men's podium. Give it up for the men's podium here tonight, guys. You kickoffs here. Okay. We have in third place, Hugo Dorval. Then we have the man forged from rock himself. It is TJ Foley. And it is an honor to present in first place, we have Matthew Rodriguez.